Welcome to Hope Natural Health, the podcast inspiring you to be your best version. Join me, your host, Dr. Erin, naturopathic doctor, dog mom, cancer survivor, and girl boss weekly as we discuss all things health, hormones, and happiness with a little side of this thing called life. Welcome back to the Hope and Natural Health podcast, where I try to get you healthy the right way. Last week, we talked all about your sex drive and why your libido might be in the toilet with special guest Dr. Renee. So if you missed that one, highly recommend you go back and listen to it. The secret is it's usually more than just a hormone imbalance. So go back and take a listen to that. This week, we are going to talk about hydration. We are now in June, and it is very hot in most places, especially in Arizona. We're probably averaging, anywhere from 100 to 110 is typically where we are hanging out temperature-wise. It's hot, and we need to stay hydrated. And I'm going to talk about how water helps, signs of dehydration, and things that can add to dehydration, and then tips to drink more water or how to get more fluids in your body. So we have about 55 to 78% of our body is made up of water. That's over half of our body is made up of water. Newborn babies actually have more water. They're made up of about 78% water, and a year-old baby is about 65%. So men actually are made up more of water, only by 5% at 60%, and women are about 55%. But what's interesting is that 73% of your brain is made up of water. So if you are feeling mental fog, mental clarity, brain fog, all of that, drink more water. We need that for our overall brain capacity, let alone all of our organs. So water helps with so many things in our body. And this is water, people. It's not ice cubes that are in a drink, watered down. This is just straight water that you should be drinking on a daily basis. So it helps with our digestion. It helps with excretion and getting rid of waste and toxins. It helps our joints. It actually will lubricate our joints. So if you're feeling achy or joint pain, might be a sign of dehydration. It actually makes our saliva, which is helpful for us when we eat. It helps create hormones in our brain. So if we nourish our brain so we can make our hormones and neurotransmitters, water is essential for that. It helps us move and carry oxygen to all of our tissues all over our body. It can actually help regulate our body temperature too. So many reasons why water is super helpful. So what happens if you are dehydrated? Like, what are some signs and symptoms to look out for? The best tip is to make sure you hydrate before you get thirsty. So once you're to that thirsty point, you probably are already dehydrated. So signs of dehydration can include anything from a headache to confusion to delirium, fatigue, dizziness, weakness. Maybe you have a dry mouth or a dry cough. Your heart rate, you're a little bit tachycardic, which is a higher heart rate. Or maybe your blood pressure's low. So a higher heart rate with a lower blood pressure is a good symptom. You have flushed skin, maybe swollen feet, or you're getting muscle cramps. You might have a heat intolerance or feeling cold or having chills. And a good one is your pee. If you have dark colored pee, this usually means that you are not hydrated enough. Now, if you take B vitamins, your pee is going to be bright yellow, but your pee should be about a pale, clear color. That's usually signs that you're hydrated enough. So another good rule of thumb is when we're looking for hydration status is the average person urinates or pees about 6 or 7 times a day. So if you're urinating anything less than that, you likely could be dehydrated. So if this happens, it's because there's less water in your blood that causes your kidneys to now hold on to the urine. So that is a good rule of thumb too. But also keep in mind, if you're on any sort of medications like diuretics that are used to help with heart failure, even high blood pressure, this actually also can increase your risk of dehydration. So if you're on any medications, Make sure that you speak with your doctor about getting plenty of fluids or the right amount of fluids in you because of, the medications. And then there's also beverages and things that can further dehydrate you. So alcohol and caffeinated beverages are actually dehydrators. Teas, coffee, colas, they are not recommended for hydration. They can actually have the negative effect. So yes, I said iced tea. A lot of people think that iced tea is considered in that water category, but it's actually a dehydrator. It's the tannins in the tea that can dehydrate you. Fruit juices and fruit drinks also have a lot of sugar in them or carbohydrates, and they can actually cause us to be dehydrated too. So what do you do to get more water in? I know water isn't like the most fun thing to drink. It doesn't taste like anything, but you can make it fun. So you can add fruit to it. You can add vegetables in it. You can add electrolytes. My two favorite electrolytes are Element. It's LMNT. And you can buy those on the internet. They're super clean, sweetened with stevia, and really just have electrolytes in them. Or I love Jigsaw electrolyte powder. You can also purchase that online. Those are my two top favorite electrolyte supplements, and I usually try and drink one electrolyte powder per day, especially when I go to the gym. But you can add that to your water to get a little bit more flavor if you're really not liking just plain water. You can eat foods that are higher in water, so like soups, even fruits and vegetables have water in them, so you can get water that way. And if you really don't like it, I would just recommend trying to drink smaller doses throughout the day. And I have two tricks for you. One, and I think I've mentioned this in previous podcasts, but there's an app called Plant Nanny, so you can download that app, and it tells you how, or recommends when you should water your plant so it doesn't die, therefore you drink more water. Two, you can put rubber bands around your water jug that you carry around everywhere you go, and your goal is to drink at least half your body weight in ounces. That's a good rule of thumb. So figure out how much that is per your water bottle, and you can put the amount of rubber bands that you need to fill your water bottle to get that right amount of hydration for the day. So that's a fun way to make sure that you're getting in the right amount of water. But I literally carry my water bottle everywhere with me. It's attached to me at the hip. I'm drinking water all day. We want to make sure we're peeing consistently. And that's another thing I hear in practice is like, well, I don't want to drink water because I'm up all night peeing. But there's way worse side effects of being dehydrated than are getting up to pee, a million times a night if you're staying nice and hydrated, especially in the heat. And my third tip is if you still don't want to drink water, or you're having an event, or you're overexerting yourself, come in and get an IV. We do mobile and in-office IVs, fluids to help hydrate you. We've brought people, quote unquote, back to life and rehydrated them with just fluids. It's the fastest way we can get your body repleted. It's directly into your bloodstream, and that is a really good option. Even if you don't live in Arizona, Google IV therapy in your town and see if you can get some fluids in you quickly. So I wanted to talk about that today because it's super important that we make sure we're staying hydrated as the temperature changes, especially here in Arizona. I hope you learned something. Let me know how you are getting your daily allotment of water in, and we will see you all again next week.